Kill him.
My turn.
How you doing, guys? BBird here again for a Marriland battle this time against Nexas. This is my first Marriland battle, so let's see how it goes down. Decided to come on here just to, pick things up a notch. All the Serebii noobs were kind of starting to bore me out, and probably boring you too. So I bring out my Magicam, and he brings out a Staraptor, and I get the Intimidate, so I didn't really want to hang around. I could have Ice Punched, but I didn't want to worry. I didn't want to risk not KOing it or having it with a Focus Sash and then getting Aerial Aced or BBirded in response. So I switch out to a fairly safe switch. I mean, even close combat's neutral into Metagross, and he goes with the Aerial Ace. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, which is fairly predictable. And he didn't get any recoil, so it led me to believe that it might have been Focus Sashed or Scarfed or Banded. Probably Scarfed, because it didn't do that much damage for a choice banded version. So I go for my attack. I decided not to agility this time, just because it's a bit early in the match, and it's probably better to get damage in rather than get an agility and come into something that completely walls it. It's just wasting a turn really. So I went with the Meteor Mash, and he switches to Lucario, which is a fairly good move. I mean, it resists it, but at the same time, it's just Lucario just doesn't have the defenses to stand up against, a stabbed, not very effective move from Metagross. So, I thought about Meteor Mashing again, but I decided not to. He goes with the Aura Sphere, and this is where I agility. And the reason why I waited till now, also, is because, see how he went first now? Now I'll go first next, so I haven't actually lost any ground by using agility, because I'll KO next turn, or otherwise he would have got the next hit in next time. So either way, I'm only taking one set of damage, if that was, easy to understand. So I Earthquake, and decided it was fairly safe to do so, and take out Lucario. Get a bit of leftovers recovery, and the whole thing pretty much left me relatively unscathed. So I'm in a fairly good position right now. He thinks about what to bring in. He actually left voice chat on, so I get to hear him, shitting his pants over Wi-Fi right now. And he brings in Torkoal. And I thought about staying in, but then I was sort of fearing the Will-O-Wisp, because these things are generally like a physical tank. They're not really used for attacking. Their attack stats aren't that great, but their defense is through the roof. So I decided to switch to something safe. I went to Starmie, and he uses Sunny Day, which is interesting, because you don't actually see a whole lot of Sunny Day stuff in this team. But either way, it sort of gimps my Surf, which isn't too good, but I decided to go with it anyway, just to see what he's going to have next. So he brings out his Gardevoir, and I use Surf, and with a Sunny Day and with a fairly pretty good special defense and HP, doesn't do a whole lot. But once again, I was fearing the Will-O-Wisp again from another poke, so I didn't really want to go into anything physical, and most of my team are physical sweepers. I don't really go with a whole lot of walls or any of that kind of crap. So I went with the Surf again, just in case he Will-O-Wisped, and used Thunderbolt. And I was a little bit annoyed. Like, I thought it was a possibility, but at the same time, I didn't think I was going to die from it, like a non-stab Thunderbolt. And he gets a crit. So, not too happy about that. But what really can he do? And at this point in his voice chat, you could hear him, going, "Oh my god, I can't believe I got a crit. Oh my god, it's the best ever. Did you see that?" I think he had a friend talking to him or something. So, anyway, I was just sort of, staying quiet, not saying anything. And I thought about what to bring in, and I had a few options really. But in the end I went with Salamence, because I figured, on a special defense type Gardevoir, a physical attack would do the job. So I went with my Stab Dragonclaw, because I thought hopefully it'll do enough damage to KO. And with the Life Orb it does. So Gardevoir goes down. And even though it took out my Starmie, I'm in a fairly decent position here. and thinks about what to bring in for a while. Fairly long while this time. And he decides on Tentacruel, probably for the Ice Beam, but at the same time, this Mixman's just has, you know, awesome coverage. So I went with Earthquake, and it's actually a one-hit KO. Because Tentacruel's mostly for, you know, the special defense, which kind of surprised me how he has, you know, two special walls, and then, you know, one physical wall, but none of them are terribly good, you know, coverage-wise. I mean, they tend to get pretty owned by all this kind of stuff, you know, put together. And especially since, you know, Tentacruel and Torkoal are both ground weak. Anyway, so he brings in Straptor. I get the Intimidate, and that's not so good for me because, you know, I could Draco Meteor, but at the same time, I was worried about, you know, getting a Brave Bird and copying it to the face and going and, you know, getting KO'd. So I switched back to Metagross. It was fairly predictable, but, you know, I wasn't too worried about anything that it had. I used Brave Bird, which, you know, put a dent in, didn't really do much, and he got a bit of recoil damage there. So now I know that, you know, Focus Hatch I was worried about wasn't going to happen. Sunny Day hangs around, and you still haven't seen anything to do with Sunny Day, so it seemed like just like a waste of turn to me. And so I went with the Meteor Mash again, just to be safe, because I didn't want to, you know, risk having, you know, a close combat hit on me, and then having to use Earthquake because I predicted the switch. And I thought, you know, it'll still do some damage, it's not too bad. And it did about a quarter. So it's not so bad, but I knew the Earthquake wouldn't KO because of its ridiculous defense. But I thought I'll go for it anyway, because even if he Will-O-Wisps, I'll still have more than enough attack for the 2-hit KO. So I went with Earthquake, and even if you went with a fire attack, like I don't know, Fire Blast or Overheat or something, and it killed Metagross, I still have plenty more perks to back me up, so it wasn't a big deal. And it turns out he did use Overheat, but it missed. So that was probably the only bit of luck I had the whole match. And, you know, it was nice, it was convenient, but, you know, in the end it probably didn't matter a whole lot. The only thing that was really going to be a threat was, you know, Straptor, and it wasn't really doing much anyway. So he changes back out to Straptor. He obviously saw another Earthquake coming, and that's fine. I decided just not to risk it and go with the Earthquake again. And get a bit of lefties recovery, and I'm back where I started. Like, I haven't lost anything. I mean, I was kind of, you know, looking forward to this as a, you know, Marriland match, having not to face, you know, Serebii noobs. And he uses Double Team, and that really annoyed me, because I was like, this match is, you know, going fairly well, and he decides to go and break standard clauses. I mean, I made it pretty clear. But I hit him anyway, and this is where it starts to get a little bit frustrating. He goes for the Aerial Ace, and he gets a crit. And, you know, it's not so bad, because it's still not very effective, and it's not going to do much. But on the other hand, my Meteor Mash missed on the Double Team, I can only assume. So its accuracy was probably about 70% or something. So he decides to withdraw. I don't really know why, but he did. And he switched to Luxray. So the Meteor Mash wasn't going to be very effective. It might have been a decent move. But then it misses again. I just don't understand that. Like, it was so frustrating. So I decided to Agility up, you know, use this chance, because I didn't think of anything Luxray could actually do. So yeah, use Agility. He uses Sub. And yeah, it's not really a big deal. I couldn't think of much that would actually hurt me. So you can have the Sub for all I care. And I just go with the Earthquake this time. Like, I didn't really see much point in, you know, dodging around and trying to, you know, play tricky with him. So he took out the Sub, and he uses Thunder, and his Thunder hits, right? And that sort of pissed me off again, because, you know, he's using Double Team, and I miss on a 90% accurate move with a Double Team. He uses something with 70% accuracy, and it hits. Then he gets a Quick Claw activation, another banned item, and he uses Thunderbolt, and it still doesn't kill me. So even with all this bullshit luck he's getting, you know, it's just not helping him at all. So I go for the Earthquake, and it takes out Luxray easily. I mean, overall, this wasn't a bad match, but I was sort of looking forward to, you know, having a nice challenge. And as it turns out, it was a bit of a flop. So, I mean, he's a decent guy. I could hear him talking on the voice chat, and by no means this is nothing personal against him. But I use medial mash, take out Straptor, and it's pretty much game from here. So, and I hope you guys enjoy it. What I'm thinking about doing, if you guys just want to challenge me, I'm really looking for some decent challenges that I can put up. So just message me and, you know, seek me out somewhere. I'm usually on, you know, either Serebii or Marriland, other than the same name, BBird. So, yeah, seek me out. You know, give us a call. Because, you know, I know you guys don't want to see shit like this. You guys want to see some good stuff. You want to see me lose. So, yeah, that's the game, guys. Have a good one.